Hi, Rene Bastarache here with the American School of Hypnosis. And in today's video, I'm going to speak to you about how can you develop psychic ability when you don't even know that you have it. Well, that's a really good question. And before I answer that, I'd like to ask you, if you're new to this channel, to go ahead and subscribe on the link below, so you'll be notified when we have new training like this coming up. And if you're an existing subscriber, I'd like to welcome you for joining us. So let's get right to it. How do you develop psychic ability if you don't even know that you have it? Well, that's the situation I have with most students that take our metaphysics and psychic development class. A lot of them don't realize that they even have psychic ability, even though we all do. We're blended beings that are living part conscious, part subconscious, so part in the physical world and the other foot in the spiritual world. But we're so involved, we're so busy every day with the physical world that most of us don't take the time or even know that we have these subconscious abilities. So what I want to speak to you about right now is the 4 stages or 4 phases of learning anything. Now, I'm going to go through the names. They might sound a little confusing right now, but I'm going to explain them for you and give you a great example. Okay, so the first one is called unconscious incompetence. That's the first stage. Then we go through, and this is with anything that we learn, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So what does that mean? Okay, let's look at before you even knew what a bicycle was, okay? You didn't even know what a bicycle was, then you started to learn about it. So when you didn't know what it was unconscious incompetence. You didn't know what it was, so you didn't have it in your mind. It was unconscious. So what happened is eventually you found out what a bike was. Then you learned how to drive it, how to ride it. And as you were learning about it and you were told about it and you've seen them, that was conscious incompetence. Okay, you've seen them, you start to know what it is, but you still don't know how to use it. Then you practice. Consciously, you became competent with it. And you practiced so much that it became second nature. And once it became second nature, you don't have to think about it. You just jump on the bike and drive. And if somebody asks you now, how did you first learn how to ride a bike? You probably don't even remember that far back, because now it became automated behavior, part of your unconscious or subconscious. And that's why we call it unconscious competence. You don't have to think about it. So first it was subconscious or unconscious, where it wasn't even there. You didn't even know what it was. Then it became competence because you were starting to learn. Then it became conscious competence because now in your active mind you're learning how to do it. And then it became a subconscious behavior. So that's how you learn pretty much anything. Everything you know right now, you didn't know it as a newborn. So everything was unconscious at first. Everything was unknown. Then you learned about it, then you practiced it, and it became second nature. So what else have you done this way? How about typing, working on a computer, learning a computer language, learning any foreign language, driving a car? Okay, most of you drive a car and you don't think about it, but at one point in your life, you knew nothing about it. You didn't even think about it. You might have been riding a bicycle everywhere. And I'll never get a car because you were too young. But then as you learn, now you're driving a car. So it works the same way with psychic ability. What we're going to be teaching you as class is we're going to be teaching you all the different parts. Things like, telepathy and spiritual travel and divination tools and how to read the future, how to read someone else's mind, how to do remote viewing, all these different things that you probably never thought of, maybe never even heard of. Okay, so we're going to bring them to from the unconscious to the conscious. We're going to bring them in front of you so you can see them. This is driving, this is the bicycle, so you're going to see all these things available to you. You're going to learn about them. Okay, so now they're going to become conscious incompetence, that's stage 2, then you're going to practice them. Practice, practice, practice. You're going to practice in class with other students. You're going to practice on your own at home. You're going to practice with your family. You may even eventually start a business and do maybe tarot readings or rune readings online, for $3.99 a minute or something. Remember when they used to have that? The psychic network, call them on the telephone for $3.99 a minute. I used to get a kick out of that. But so you're going to practice, 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 and be able to do this to the point where you become not only competent, but it becomes second nature. It becomes automated, like riding a bike, driving a car, brushing your teeth, all the things that you've learned in the same way. And then it becomes part of your subconscious. You don't even need to think of it anymore. When I want to meditate, when I want to do a disconnect session to contact the other side, I don't think twice about it. I just go in the other room, sit down, close my eyes, and I'm there. It's become unconscious competence. It's second nature. It's just like reading a book for me. And that's what we're going to be doing in this course coming up, is teaching you all the different areas of psychic ability, making you familiar with them so you even know they're there, which you probably didn't, contacting spirits, whatever it might be, having you practice and becoming competent with it. So you can use it as much as you want, you can practice and even make it a second nature. So I hope that helps you to understand how you're going to learn psychic ability and how you're going to get good at it. Now, I'd like to invite you to go ahead and click on the link below this video on the Metaphysics and Psychic Development course. Take a look at everything you are going to learn, what it involves. We're going to have a great time. Go ahead and register today, and I will see you shortly in class. It's only 4 days, on weekends, on Zoom, right here on the computer, and you could take it right from home, from any computer, iPad, or even your cell phone. So I look forward to meeting you there and seeing you on the inside. Have a spectacular day. Bye-bye now.